Hello friends, it's Trevor, it's Avery, it's Pat, it's the citywide special. The Sixers hold on to defeat the Boston Celtics Wednesday night. Nick Nurse's squad takes over first place in the Eastern Conference. Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid continue to dominate, while the team gets solid contributions from their suddenly very deep bench. The Sixers take on the Pistons Friday night to kick off the in-season tournament. The Eagles win a close game against the Cowboys on Sunday to improve to 8-1. Jalen Hurts guts out another impressive performance despite a knee injury. Dallas Goedert and Nakobe Dean suffer injuries in the game and will be out multiple weeks. The Birds will enjoy a much-needed bye before their Super Bowl rematch against the Chiefs in Week 11. Rhys Hoskins appears to have played his final game as a Philly, as Dave Dombrowski announces that Bryce Harper will remain at first base. Will the Titans re-sign Aaron Nola or look for pitching elsewhere? The Union win their opening playoff series against the New England Revolution. They move on to face the Supporter Shield winning FC Cincinnati in the conference semifinals. And the Flyers make history Tuesday night, being the first team this season to lose to the horrible San Jose Sharks. All that and more coming up right now. How's it going, fellas?
Pretty good. Good to be back. Different day, but great to be back here in the seat. We got some lovely foliage here, which I feel like between two ferns. It's really nice. The sets reached the new stage, new level. We've leveled up a little bit. Feels good. But finally feeling good. We were all at the Eagles game on Sunday to watch us beat up on the Dallas Cowboys. I think finally feeling back to normal. So other than that, I can't complain.
Yeah, there's a return to normalcy, as the great American president Warren G. Harding once said.
That's quite a pull.
Was certainly a little out of it from being at the game this past weekend. We had a pretty good Saturday night. You all went to the comedy show. We all had dinner and some drinks and had a good time. So certainly feeling it a little bit. Actually feeling kind of low-key sick. Seasons are changing. Weather's changing. Immune systems are weakening. But all in all, man, doing all right. But hey, how are y'all guys' blood pressure? We were at the nail biter on Sunday. We had that Sixers nail biter last night. Yo, my heart was racing last night. I couldn't fall asleep for a while, quite frankly.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Yeah, two very close games against hated rivals. Pulled them both out, so very good. But yeah, I don't need to be feeling like that all the time.
No,
for sure.
Especially the team that they played. Like, I don't need that back-to-back, but I think I was so exhausted emotionally from the Sunday game that I was definitely stressed out about the Sixers, but I was like, I don't have any more juice in the tank. Like, you guys just got to finish this out. Like, I can't handle, overtime or anything like that, but they find a way to win. And these teams that we've been seeing in Philly, at least with these two so far, good teams find a way.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
You could certainly make the case that the Sixers of last year lose that game. The Eagles of Nick Sirianni's first year lose that game Sunday. But that's what you said. Good teams find a way to win. The Eagles, clearly a good team, made it to the Super Bowl, first in the NFL. And the Sixers, we didn't know what to expect this year, but got rid of James Harden, who has been ass for the Clippers.
He had some great highlights last night in the Clippers loss against the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah. The juggernaut Brooklyn Nets.
Did you see that pass?
Yeah,
oh my God.
Winging passes out of bounds.
He winged that pass that the fucking announcer caught the ball. The best was he had so much time to just shoot a corner three. It's like he refuses. He won't make a catch and shoot three, even if he has all the time in the world. He's like, no, I have to either pass it off or dribble for at least 5 seconds.
And it's never
one or the other.
It's
Can't
never
just
a short
shoot the ball.
pass. It's always a pass across the court or somewhere that doesn't need to be right there. Yeah. The announcer was like, that was the best call I've made in my entire career, because he was like, I saw it coming as soon as he let it go. It wasn't even close to the guy. But
yeah, and then he has those threes. They lost to the Knicks too in his first game on Monday. Kicks it out. Someone kicks it out. I think it's Kawhi kicks it out to Harden for a wide open three at the top of the key. No one's within 10 feet of him. He stares at the basket for a second, pump fakes for no reason, and kicks a sidestep three and misses it. It's just dude, you just made it so much harder on yourself for no reason.
They're 0-2 in the Harden era.
Yeah, he also last night he was trying to do that little bounce pass in the lane,
pocket pass, to
Zubats, and just was not on the same page at all. It was nowhere near him. It just went out of bounds. It's Yeah, Joel Embiid ain't walking through that door, buddy. Get used to Zubats. See what kind of two-man game you got going with that guy.
Yeah, I honestly think he's going to be playing in China next year.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, because if he keeps playing like this, given just the drama that he brings everywhere he goes, unless he's willing to sign for a vet minimum, which he'd probably make more in China than a vet minimum, quite frankly, unless he's willing to do that, he's gone. No NBA team's going to want him.
Yeah. I also just don't see that team functioning with all those guys, with Russell, him, PG, Kawhi. Like, there's no... it doesn't work. It can't work.
Yeah, because the way that they've been playing, they've been wanting to have Russell take the ball up and have Harden play off the ball, which is like,
and that's his whole thing. Why he didn't want to. Right, he wants to be the commander. It's like, well, I don't know why you want it. I don't know. It makes no sense to me, but I love to watch it.
I mean, thank God that all played out the way it did, because I mean, if he. We very well could have been talking about going into year one of like a 3-year or a 4-year Harden deal, making way too much money. But thank God that Harden is a huge loser pain in the ass and did not want to come back here.
You'll also shout out Daryl Morey too. I know we've given him a lot of grief.
Yeah,
but he had the courage not to give Harden a max, as I think many people were probably fearful that he was going to do. And, did Daryl misread the situation? Yes, but at the end of the day, he held his ground and said, Harden, you're not going to get a max. You're not worth a max. No one else is giving you one. We didn't even have a chance to see what Daryl would have offered him, but Daryl didn't break and offer him a max right away. I guess I shouldn't say he didn't take the first trade, but he made sure that the Sixers got value out of the Harden trade. Yeah. And I guess we can kind of just jump right into the Sixers. We've kind of seen that value prove itself with these bench guys.
Yeah, I mean, especially this offseason, a lot of people were saying this is like the worst offseason that they've had in years.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the last, if there's ever been a this dramatic of a vibe shift in any team. Like, this was, the fandom had kind of hit, their breaking point with this team during the summer, with how they go out again in the second round. They look like shit the last couple games against Boston. All this shit with Harden starts. We, lose a couple guys over the offseason that would have liked to have kept. It just keeps going and going like that. And then you have, these weird bogus trade rumors about Embiid. People are like, he's gonna be asking out, all this shit, it was just a spiral of despair with this fucking fan base. And now it's like, I remember the last time I was just excited about the Sixers. It's like, it's been a seismic vibe shift.
I mean, and we were all ready to jump off the Betsy Ross too for a minute. We were like, we're not going to watch. We're going to
it was like, I guess we'll have to watch because we do this podcast.
Right, but it was going to be regretful.
But now I'm looking forward to watching.
Now we're like, first couple games okay. Now it feels great, and all those little moves. You're right. It wasn't the big sexy flash in the pan that we were hoping for or whatever, especially coming off the playoff run. But pieces are pieces when they start to play. It works, and honestly, too, shout out Nick Nurse. I feel like. Yeah. There were points late in the fourth quarter in that game last night that I feel like Doc would have let the team ride out, not call timeouts. I feel like soon as it was 14-point lead we had on him in the fourth, as soon as Tatum came out there, hit that three, he called a quick timeout. All right, cool. I feel like Doc, that was the timer. I was like, Doc would have let that thing ride out. It would have been even worse. Now, granted, they did chop that lead down quite sizably, but little things like that, you can see that their head's in the right spot. They're still playing aggressive. The coach looks good. So, yeah, from top to bottom, they look like a solid franchise, despite what we thought was going to be shambles to start the season.
They just look like a very different team.
Yeah.
I can't remember last time we've seen the Sixers play with that level of defensive intensity for 48 minutes.
Some of those defensive rotations where Boston's swinging the ball because someone's got to. If I'm not open or if someone's closing out on me, the next guy's got to be open. And every time they swing it, a Sixers defender is right in the guy's face as he's catching the ball.
Yeah.
They had a few defensive possessions like that where they either forced a 24-second shot clock violation or forced like a really bad contested three that was just way off.
Yeah, and I mean, I know like the narrative from Boston fans this morning is like, well, we had like a really bad shooting night, and
so did we.
But so did we, and two, like, I mean, I think our defense was causing a lot of bad shots, so that's not just I don't think it was just bad luck on their part. I think it had a lot to do with the way that we were defending them.
And to take them down to the 24-second shot clock too, like against that team they have one of probably their best defensive game against the best offensive team. I mean, it was
they were the best offense in the league.
It was Boston's not going to score 130, 150 points a game. However, we haven't really seen this team, to your point, Trevor, play defense like that, especially against Boston. It was really good to see them play long defensive possessions that they didn't draw a foul. They ended up getting the ball back. I mean, everything just kind of aligned right, and they did their job and knew their role. And I don't know what Nick Nurse is feeding these guys or what they are fighting for right now, but whatever it is, I hope they keep that shit going.
Yeah, I mean, when I watch them now, I have to think, like, what was Doc doing during practices?
Right.
Like literally, what was he having them do? Like, what drills were they doing?
Right.
What was he telling them to do? Because it just feels like this is
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, like Doc Rivers' whole thing just seemed to be like, I have some good players, I'm just going to let them play. Whereas Nick Nurse is like, I actually have like an idea of what we want this to look like, and schemes and rotations and strategy, coaching stuff.
Well, that's the thing. Doc's from like the late 90s, early 2000s era, where you had like these stars, these heliocentric stars that would just dominate the game, like a Kobe, an early LeBron, an AI, a Tracy McGrady, a Vince Carter. The NBA doesn't work like that anymore. Certainly you still have those heliocentric stars like Luka, like Harden when he was good, like LeBron when he was good. Who am I thinking of? Jokic isn't really like that.
You could say potentially Tatum here and there.
Yeah, Tatum kind of. But even still, like they're still more of team guys, whereas Doc just isn't wired to coach like that. So yeah, his practices were probably like, all right, we're going to practice 50 different ways for James to get Joel the ball.
Yeah.
That's all we're going to do. PJ, you go stand in the corner. Tobias, you stand in the other corner. Maxey, you run around like a chicken with your head cut off. That's going to be the offense. And then defensively, I don't know if Doc ever really coached defense.
It looked like there was probably no situational practices going on. Like, all right, we're going to practice this. We're up by 10. We're down by whatever. Like, here's what we're going to do. They never seemed, like you said, they would have, last year, they would have lost this game 10 times in a row. Like, there's no way they would have.
And this game felt very Game 6-ish to me at times, but we actually won it.
I just remember, like, last year, whenever like Doc would call a timeout and he brings out like the whiteboard, I'm always just thinking like, what the fuck is he actually writing on that thing?
It's a to-do list.
Because then they would come out with like the dumbest play, just this like where they could barely inbound the ball.
They would turn the ball over half the time.
They're like, Doc, that's a smiley face. Oh,
I know, right? And that's what I was saying. Like he was probably just showing them like a picture. He's like, guys, you see, I'm really good at drawing Garfield.
He come out there all limping out there like.
I'm just like Jim Davis. Yeah,
it's nice to see a coach actually coach the team, and they're so young that it's like these guys need. Yeah, you have superstar potential with Harden or with Embiid, and Maxey's playing his nuts off. Tobias is playing his balls off. It's great to see these guys do their thing, but it's like, all right, they still need. They're all professionals, but they still need plays, schemes, especially when a team like Boston comes in. You have to scheme against them.
Right,
like, they're not. You can't just be like, all right, guys, like I trust you to go out there and do your job. Like, no, that's not how any sport works, really.
Yeah. I mean, with Nick Nurse, he's certainly added sort of like some defensive intensity and some structure to what they do on defense, but also offensively, man. We continue to see that it's more than just the Maxey and Embiid show. Like before, it would have been the Harden and Embiid show, but you see guys like Tobias Harris get involved, Kelly Oubre.
Yep.
They're getting involved. Batum, since he came into the lineup, has been hooping.
Yeah. It's a bunch of those guys that kind of just are able to, because they can move well, they're athletic, they can kind of serve as like a little like release valve for when the Maxey and Embiid thing isn't like, when there's nothing there, like there's somewhere else to go with the ball. Guys are like cutting on the baseline and, doing all that kind of stuff. I mean, fuck, they even got Ferk involved.
Yeah,
that one game he went fucking nuts.
Yeah, for a few games.
He went fucking nuts.
I mean, that may not last, but whoever, I mean, he's...
Well, 7 games in, I'm all back on the Furcon train, so, like, we're good that way, but...
Yeah, our Turkish prince.
He'll continue to get some run here and there, man.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen Obama yet or anybody else like that, so like that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, a few garbage time minutes.
B-Ball Paul's been hooping though,
dude. Last night when he cooked Drew on that one play,
I was cracking.
That was hilarious.
Or when he ripped Tatum.
Yeah,
yeah. B-Ball Paul's been hooping.
Yeah,
so.
he was kind of like shaky to start the year, but he looked good last night.
He's been better the last handful of games, I think.
I mean, he was only like -1 or something last night or something,
Which like, those non-Embiid minutes are
like if you can break even on those minutes, then that's all you can ask.
Pat Bev's bringing that intensity. You can see feel on the team too.
Yeah, Bev had that like going into the half. He had that like buzzer beater floater guy.
Yeah. Pat Bev I saw something on Instagram among bench players. I don't even know if this is a credible source or not. I forget what it was. He's first in plus minus among bench players for a guy that doesn't score.
I saw that. Yeah.
That's pretty impressive, man. He brings the vibes and the intangibles.
Yep.
Like Pat Bev got that dog in him for real, man.
Big time.
Yeah. It's just a fun group. And like they have like an actual like a deep bench now, which like when's the last time we could say that about this team? I mean, last night they didn't even have to like use everybody. They which is good. I mean, against a team like Boston, you like shorten the bench up a little bit. We didn't see any.
Rocco got some good minutes in there last night.
Like we didn't see
Rocco was
Springer.
really effective.
But having Rocco be able to like shoot threes.
It's good seeing him back in Sixers uniform.
He had a couple big deflections, big steals.
Yeah,
and Tobias too. I mean, the guy was playing. I haven't seen him look. He usually looks all pissed off like that late in the season when people start talking shit about him being a Sixer. Like, I can't believe it's a waste of money. But like, he looks like he's having fun this year too.
Dude, there's no one's happier to have Harden gone than Tobias.
Oh, for sure. That's worth his bomb.
He's like a brand new man, fucking with Tobias or with Harden shipped out.
Yeah. So, guess a couple statistics here that I was looking up earlier. So the Sixers, right now, they're 5th in the league in offensive rating, 5th in the league in defensive rating. Teams that generally finish in the top 10 in both are like championship level teams. We're only 7 games in, so certainly not saying anything about that yet, but they have that pedigree. They have that look. They're 1.01 points behind Boston for the best net rating in the league.
Yeah.
So like
neck and neck.
Yeah, they're playing really good basketball, man. In terms of pace, I guess I'll define pace a little bit because like a lot of times people think of pace as just fast break, like you the other team misses, you throw the ball down the court, you score a bucket real quick, but it's really just how quickly you get the ball up the court on a made basket, how quickly you get in your set, how quickly you run your set. Where do y'all think the Sixers were in pace last year? Of the 30 teams.
Possibly dead last.
I would say 25.
27th.
Oh,
yeah,
damn close. Nice.
So it was surprised me that there were teams that were slower than them last year.
Who was slower?
I don't remember. But where do y'all think they are this year?
Gotta be.
They're probably not as high as you think, but
I'm gonna say 8.
Yeah, I was gonna say like somewhere 10-ish, like maybe 8, 10 or 9 or 10, something like that.
12.
Not bad.
So towards the front half of the league, but still not crazy. But I think we were just so used to Harden bring the ball up, taking 16 seconds to get it, or 8 seconds to get it across half court, 8 more seconds to dribble the air out of the ball, then 8 more seconds to finally get into a set. Whereas now, like I said last week, it's just bing, bang, boom. And that's a bucket. It's just really refreshing to see them step into like the modern game. You know what I mean? Like they got all these different wing players, Batum, Rocco, Oubre, Springer. I guess Melton can kind of play up defensively as a wing. All these guys can switch defensively. So like they're never on like a defensive mismatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is huge against a team like Boston, where like Boston loves to just look for a mismatch and pick on it. They couldn't do that last night.
Nope.
But yeah, man, I haven't seen the Sixers play defense, I dare say, probably this well since Larry Brown was the coach 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's been exciting and looking forward to it a little bit more. I think they're still probably a piece away from being a true title contender, even with the stats I just rattled off all excitedly. But they have that look. They just need to make the right move. It doesn't even really need to be like a blockbuster trade.
That's the thing. Because I mean, if Maxey can be the second best guy on the team, if you're looking for the trade to get like that third best guy on the team,
right,
that's like way more doable, and like you can probably do that and still keep some of these bench pieces that we like. Use some of a couple of those picks that we got from Harden, and get like a solid guy to round out the starting lineup. Like that's seems very doable.
Definitely. I'd be curious to see how they look 25 games in. I mean, they're fresh, they're excited. People don't really know how to play against us because we're a whole new team too. So, you get that third missing piece. You get 25 games in, see how they're doing. They're an exciting team to watch, and they're fun. And you can't really beat those two aspects when you watch basketball like that, especially as a Sixers fan.
Yeah, it's
from what we expected coming into the season.
What'd you say?
I said compared to what we expected coming into the season. I did not expect this.
I thought it was going to be an interesting season for all the wrong reasons. Right. But it's been a really fun, entertaining season for all the right reasons. Yeah, like they don't need a star. Hell, I mean, Tobias can kind of play as the third best offensive player on your team most nights.
Yeah.
You don't.
I mean, they just need like I guess I feel like they kind of need another like ball carrier to complement Maxey, because like when Maxey's off the floor, it's a little
slow,
kind of
ugly.
a mess. Yeah. So like a really good backup point guard would be nice.
Yeah, or like a two.
But yeah, the fact that we just need like a nice backup point guard is a nice position to be in. We don't need like we don't need to make another like James Harden type trade or whatever.
Hell
the fuck. Like we don't need
break the bank and trade everybody away.
Yeah. Just need a nice little piece.
Yeah.
We need a Drew Holiday, but he plays for the team we played last night.
Yeah, too bad for that.
Brutal.
But I guess the last thing Sixers wise, the in-season tournament.
Yeah, we got to see that. Is that at home or is that in Detroit?
I think it's in Detroit.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, I saw stuff on Instagram.
Get to see their ugly-ass court.
Oh, man.
Those
courts are repugnant, dude.
I don't know why they did too much.
They look like some fucked up like college courts. Like some of the courts in college just have like weird colors and shit. Like that's kind of what this looks like.
It's like when you play 2K, you get to like create your own team, and it's like if you're playing 2K to like make a stadium, you're doing it for the wrong reasons here. Like you got to colorize the court and change it all up. Like they too much.
It looks like they got a high school graphic design class.
Seriously, they look so amateurish.
They do solid blue and solid red every other panel. It's like, oh man.
Yeah, I was listening to I think it was Brian Windhorst, Hoops Collective. Forget what stadium it is. He said one stadium they painted the 3-point line in the wrong spot, and they had to like go back and like reset it before the game started. I forget what arena it was, but I swear that's a thing that he said happened. It's just like, good lord.
Great.
Maybe that should be a fun little wrinkle for the in-season tournament. It's like the 3-point line's like a few inches closer.
Yeah, a little closer.
We're gonna have some high-scoring games for this. So yeah, we want to get the ratings up for this in-season tournament. Let's bring that 3-point line in a few feet.
Yeah, it's this thing. Like, what I will say is the games of it, like the games that were a part of the in-season tournament that I watched last week, were pretty entertaining. You could tell some teams were trying maybe a little harder than they would otherwise, because like, I think the winning team, what did we say, gets $500,000. Per player,
yeah.
Which for like
some like rookies and shit, that's like some nice little chunk of change.
Chunk of change for sure. Women Yama would love that.
Yeah, like someone like on a max contract, it's not much to them, but they want their teammates, their rookies, and their vets that aren't making a whole hell of a lot to win. I think it was Dame Lillard said, "Yeah, this doesn't mean a lot to me, but this means a lot for the other guys on my team, so I'm going to try my hardest."
Big time. Yeah, I'd be curious to see like how teams react after the tournament. Like you try your hardest, you win this little mid-season tournament, you win it, you're like, oh yeah, it feels great to win, but like you didn't win anything really yet.
Yeah.
The chunk of change is nice, but like I could just see as a pessimistic fan here, Sixers are coming in hot, they go into the tournament, a team like them, they win the tournament, they're like, oh my god, and then what how do you keep that mojo going? I mean,
I'm totally expecting the Sixers. I'm totally expecting the Sixers to win the in-season tournament and then to get knocked out the first round.
And then just absolutely crumble.
But like we're gonna have our moment. They're gonna lift whatever the fuck the trophy looks like. I don't even know what the hell it is.
He's gonna cry. Oh my god! Have his kid in his hand.
The process is vindicated.
Could you imagine?
Everything was fine.
You have his baby in one arm and the trophy in the other hand. Oh my god!
Oh fuck!
And then we just tank the rest of the
I mean, I do like the concept because I mean, this is like a big thing in like club soccer. Mm-hmm. They have all these like, I mean, like in Europe they have like multiple different in-season tournaments basically. Like
it's just weird to see like but that's like brought up through years and years of like it's weird to see the first like all right, well let's just see how this thing fucking shakes out. I guess I don't know. You don't see a lot of first except for like a new team or stuff like that, but a new kind of aspect of the game is. I
think it would be fun if they had like a like the Champions League version of this or whatever, where we get to play like teams from Europe and stuff.
Oh hell yeah,
that'd be cool.
Even though like the NBA teams would probably obviously dominate, but it would be cool because like have you ever seen like some of those like Euro games? Like
they're officiated so differently.
They're crazy. Like they're setting off like pyrotechnics and shit. They're like soccer games, like and sometimes they'll play them like outdoors, and it's just like fucking the atmosphere is fucking crazy. And like waving all these flags. That would be really cool to see like the the Sixers playing like Turkey or some shit. Like
Furkan would be back home, dude. He'd be going off.
That would be cool. That'd be very cool.
Damn. So I'm curious. It's something for sure.
Yeah, it'll be interesting basketball. I mean, it's fun to get excited about NBA basketball in November. Like last night's game wasn't part of the tournament.
Yeah.
But I don't remember the last time I watched a November game where like I was that compelled.
Yeah.
And the tournament, for what it's worth, the guys will be trying hard. They'll be playing hard. I wouldn't be surprised if some like really bad young team ends up winning the tournament, quite frankly.
Yeah. Like
they're going to be trying. They're going to be trying real hard.
Well, with something like this, I mean, you can always be the next, but you can't always be the first. So someone's going to be that historical team that gets it done. But we'll see. Sixers might fuck around and do this thing, but we'll see.
We'll be on Broad Street. So.
Yeah. Could you imagine? They're greasing the poles.
Yeah. Hey man, any excuse to party on Broad, I'll take it, dude. I'll take it. In-season tournament, fuck it.
Yep. I'll see you out there.
Yeah, I mean, we were out there this year during the Broad Street run. It was piss and rain.
Oh, so nasty. I was a long day too. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good day, though.
Yeah, that was a good day. April 30th, you called us winning the Super Bowl.
I did. I was all twisted up at that. Where were we at?
We were at Pope.
Or the Pope?
We went to Ray's.
Yeah.
Was that it? Felt like we went
I think
to
I
another
called
bar
it. I think I called it at Ray's.
Yeah.
We were at my house for a minute. And then we went, yeah.
I went and got a cheesesteak and went home, I remember.
Anyway, is that about to wrap it up for the Sixers?
Just about. I mean, we'll have plenty more Sixers to talk about, but they've been fun. We can go ahead and move on to what do we want to move on to?
Well, I don't know if we want to touch on the Phillies.
Yeah, let's talk about the Phillies a little bit.
A little bit in the news.
A couple little hot stove updates. So it looks like Rhys Hoskins is done for.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, you give the guy that's been playing. I mean, you can't. Not going to deny Harper what he wants, and I think, they're like, you want to play outfield or play first base? I was hoping he would choose first base, just given the fact that his arm and everything like that. I don't want him throwing it, and then next thing you know, he blows his arm out in right field. But at the same time, it couldn't have been an easy decision for Harper to be like knowing that he's going to misplace Rhys in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to do what you got to do, and I think that it's tough. It's a business, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's probably good for his career longevity.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, and I think he had mentioned how much he really enjoyed playing first base. Not to say that he didn't enjoy playing the outfield, but he'd been in the outfield for, 12 years, 13 years?
His whole MLB career, just about, yeah.
It's be a little part of the action a little more. Yeah. See that.
Less strain on the arm. I mean, and he is a phenomenal fielder. I mean, the guy... He played first base great.
Yeah, I mean, he picked it up pretty quick, and you assume he'll be even better defensively next year. He
had
more
just as many errors as a professional first baseman did, who, that's his whole career. Rhys is playing first base, really, and that guy was a whole ass liability in the playoffs last year. I'll never get over that. So It stinks. But it is what it is. He did great for us 2 years ago. No one will forget that. The bat spike and all that. Love the guy. He was here for all those shitty years, but you're not Bryce Harper. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I think the other thing, too, with Harper is he's going to eventually have to play first anyway. He's signed till he's 39.
Oh, yeah.
He's not going to be out in right field when he's 36 years old, man. Old legs.
Not with that banged-up arm.
Yeah. Banged up arm. Banged up back. He's had some back issues over the years.
Yeah.
So sooner or later he was going to end up at this point. Does it kind of suck to see it happen now while Rhys Hoskins was still technically on the team, or was a free agent that they could have brought back? Sure, but at the end of the day, man, it's a business. That's the business of baseball. Rhys he'll end somewhere. He's probably not going to get a whole lot of money. He's going to have to sign a 1-year prove-it deal more than likely.
Definitely.
But hopefully for his sake, for him and his family's sake, he does prove it and he ends up getting himself a nice long contract, because Phillies haven't really paid him a lot. He's gone to arbitration, once, twice?
Yeah, he hasn't got like a big free agent
he's never gotten
deal.
a big contract, and this was his chance for it. And he's probably not going to get it this year. Hopefully he performs well and gets one. Because, hey, man, Rhys was here through some lean years.
Oh, yeah.
He was here when we were butt.
Yeah.
He was here when we were ass and we're losing 70, 80, 90, 100 games.
Mm-hmm.
He deserves it, man. He deserves a
to
happy career.
Yeah. I also think that there's a chance that he goes out there for that 1-year prove-it deal, and then, after next year, maybe Schwarber's gone, you got that DH spot filled up. There's a chance he could come back in the future while he's still somewhat in his prime. So it just is a shame that we're so loaded. I'm sure that if there was a way, they would find a way to keep him on the team. There's just no viable spot to move him. Yeah. I mean, it's a shame to lose a guy like that who's such a hometown guy, loves Philly. The city's embraced him, and he's embraced us too. But, go out for a year, get a little payday, and who knows? Things find a way of working out that way, especially with him and us. So I could see him coming back for sure. We got a lot of guys coming up in the next 2 years, that are going to be expiring contracts and things like that are going to be past their money. So would love to see him come back.
Same. Yo, do y'all have a favorite Hoskins memory?
I mean, it's got to be the bat spike, right? I mean, it's nothing else really touches that.
Yeah, I would say the bat spike for me is up there. Pat, what about you? Is it the bat spike?
I think that pretty much solidified it there. That's got to be it. I mean, I was so happy not only for them having that to get up in the league that way, but like just the fact that he was the one that did it too. You could tell
he was kind of in a slump up until then, so it was like.
But if you would have thought that he was from like he really like embodied how we all felt. We were like, hell yeah, man!
It was just releasing years of just frustration of just being.
He was this close to being the to being the MVP of that series too. I mean, I wish he would have got. I mean, Harper obviously had that other incredible one, but I think that that was just a remarkable moment.
Yeah, so low key, this isn't a moment, but it was a series of them. When he first came up in 2017...
Oh, he was hitting a home run like every day.
He hit like 20 homers in 40 games.
Yeah, that was wild.
See, for me, that wasn't my favorite Rhys memory. The bat spike is my favorite. But that one stands out too, just seeing him just rake. Because those teams, we had like Tommy Joseph, Cameron Rupp, Tyler Goodell. I can't even remember some of these guys that are on those badass teams. Not badass in a good way, like
bad and ass,
mediocre ass teams. You know what I mean? And for Rhys to come up, Maikel Franco, Odubel Herrera beating women, just like miss me with that. But once Rhys came up and started. Oh, Papelbon. Starting fights with reporters. Went to Washington and choked Harper out like an asshole.
Wild.
What a dick. But
they were bad.
We suffered through so much for the 6 years before Rhys got called up and just went on his tear. And it was just so refreshing to finally have a homegrown player that we could feel proud of.
Yeah.
So that to me was just a low-key, really like favorite Rhys moment of mine was just when he first came up.
Yeah, so R.I.P. Rhys Hoskins. Good luck.
Pour one out into the plants. It's like other Phillies news we got. They extended the qualifying offer to Aaron Nola. I don't think anyone knows what that is.
I thought someone said it was a... Well...
I'm sure they're very far apart.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, the Phillies are going to go in there. Like, they probably have a number in mind that they'll go to, but they aren't going to go in there and offer that to him right away. That's just, they're making a deal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do 10-year, $200 million. I don't know if that's it or not, but... Yeah,
I don't think you can give him 10 years.
I don't know what I don't know what the deal would be.
But yeah, whatever it is, we'll have to wait and see what Nola's camp thinks of it. Chances are they'll probably decline and see what free agency has to offer. Rumors have it, man, the Braves are in on Nola. Can you imagine that?
Come on now. That would be brutal.
The Cardinals. I hate the Cardinals.
It's the two worst.
Could you imagine that?
Well, that's great. They'll get him and Hoskins. That'll be phenomenal.
I'd rather him go to the fucking Yankees than those teams.
He's not a New Yorker. I mean, he liked Philly well enough. He might like New York.
I don't know what that guy fucking likes, but I hope he...
He said he liked it here, and I believe him. He was pretty sincere.
It took him all year to say that, though. It literally took him it took him the whole regular season and half the postseason to be like, you know what? I want to stay and come back. Like, what? We've been asking you that all season. I don't know. You can't say that and then be like, you know what? I'm worth more than that. You win a championship cap. A lot of these guys either want to get paid or play for a winner. You can get paid very well, and you're with a team that is a contender every year. So I don't know what you would be walking away from. Your family's here. You've had a great career here. You hate it here that much. You want to make a leap, or you need that much more money. I don't get that. He's been paid very well for a professional guy that just throws a ball into a fucking mitt. So
for as good as he is, he hasn't really, though.
If he leaves, he's dead to me. Fuck that guy.
So we're back on the Aaron Nola hate train again.
If he leaves. If he leaves.
Yeah, I'll have to wait and see what happens.
I can't be mad at him if he gets more money, man.
You can't be all like, oh, I just love it here. It's a great team. I want to come back, this and that. No. You can't say that and then walk away.
So if you got a job offer tomorrow that said, Pat, we will pay you $300,000 per year, you'll have to leave your current job.
Hell fucking yeah, because I never looked them in the eye and said, I love it here, guys. Like, I just wish you guys would re-sign me. If they counter that, they'd be like, we can give you a free book bag.
I'm just saying, man, if he's getting a substantial amount more money, even though he loves it here, if he's getting that much of a pay increase, I can't be mad at him.
I just don't see. I get it. This is how.
He's got to take care of his family somehow.
I get it. It's how things go. I understand how things work, but
he got a baby on the way.
But fuck that guy if he leaves.
Yeah, well,
that's how I feel.
I think he's gone. I don't know. I have nothing to really give me this opinion other than just a hunch, but I think he's gone. I think he's going to the Cardinals.
Ugh,
just
God.
A fear that I have, and it's a fear that might be a little irrational, but rumors are saying it. He seems like a St. Louis guy.
Where's he from?
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
He's not quite the Midwest, but he's a little closer to the Midwest if he's there and if he's in Philly.
Yeah.
But, so on that topic, right? If he does leave, the other free agent pitchers available, Shohei's not going to pitch next year. It's already been declared.
I don't think he's coming to the East Coast either.
Yes, no, Shohei, I'm ruling him out. He's not going to pitch, and he's not coming here. The other options everyone seems to say the Phillies are in on are likely Cy Young Award winner Blake Snell, who's kind of asked for a guy that's about to win the Cy Young, and Sonny Gray.
Is Snell from San Diego?
Yeah.
Yeah. Neither of those guys really excite me.
They don't.
Snell's thrown a lot of innings.
Plus, Snell walks a guy. Snell's walks per 9 innings was 5. You can't be walking.
That's pretty terrible.
He doesn't give up a whole lot of hits, but he walks a ton of dudes.
Well, I mean, you also got to figure JT probably adds a sense of a little bit in there. I mean, you got a great all-star, phenomenal
that probably helps
catcher.
a little bit.
Maybe that trims that number down a little bit, but I don't know. None of those are like, ooh, I would love to have, I don't know. They're okay.
Yeah, Sonny Gray's all right, man.
You'd have to you got to get somebody. If Nola does take a different deal, you got to make a move on somebody.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they might try to trade for someone.
Well,
I don't know who's available.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a long off season. I mean, that's what they mentioned Castellanos potentially being talked about in trade talks. So maybe if that's, if they think that they offered a deal to Nola, he's going to decline it. Maybe you try to ship out Castellanos and...
But then, so if you trade him, who plays right field? Right? Because Harper's already playing first.
Yeah.
Rojas, they said that he needs to improve offensively to earn himself a starting spot.
He might not even be in center field.
Wet Brandon's probably going to have to be in center or left.
I would think center. I mean, just to cover ground, he's a speedy guy you want out there. And he played great center before he got injured. I don't know. Just something to think. I mean, they got a whole, I don't know how the whole market of baseball is coming out here with that, but, I'd like them to keep Castellanos. And I think, though, if Nolan walks, you got to fill that seat with somebody. I just don't think the market is as hot as,
No, the free agent pitcher market's pretty drained. Yeah.
Also, Nola's throwing a shit ton of pitches, too. Like, that guy isn't necessarily like...
That's my biggest concern about giving him super long, long contract.
We'd keep him to keep, like, our ace, but I don't think he's necessarily, going to go out there and win a Cy Young Award or tear it up for somebody else. He'll be good, but... That's about it.
Yeah, he could fall off a cliff at any point. Yeah. He's thrown a lot of innings, man.
Big time.
But for the right deal, like I've been saying, like 3-4 years, bring him back. Give him the Zach Wheeler deal. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, I would take that.
But, I guess speaking of Zach Wheeler, y'all seen he won a Gold Glove?
Yeah, I
didn't even know he was that good. He didn't seem that good of a defensive pitcher to me.
I guess they got to give it to some pitcher.
They should have given it to Ranger.
That's what I thought.
He didn't play enough this year.
I guess, but I mean,
he's saying that every year about him.
He also does have like way more swag though when he get that ball back at the mound.
He's such a good defensive pitcher. He's probably the best in the league.
Yeah.
Gold Gloves are stupid. Chase Utley never won one, even though he should have had one like 3 times probably.
Yeah, Bobby Abreu won one.
Yeah, it's a dumb award. It's like, because I remember when like Chase Utley should have won one, that it was like Brandon Phillips would win.
Because he would make flashy plays, but he wasn't really that good.
The Gold Gloves go to players that make easy plays look hard instead of players who make hard plays look easy, which is what Chase would do.
But you would think that's
the whole stupid award.
Right.
Like, fielding is just, I mean, and there's not even like, even if you're trying to take the other side, like the analytics for fielding are also not great. Like it's just
they
hard
fluctuate so much year.
It's very hard to evaluate. So it's like whatever. It's a crapshoot award. It's kind of dumb. I don't really care. Gold Glove, fuck it. That's what I say.
Yeah, I'm about to win the golden microphone. Yo, hold up. We didn't even talk about. Sorry to bring it back to Harden. I'm not a system player. I'm a system.
The system.
Oh, yeah, I am the system. Settle down there, Thanos. Like, I don't know what that guy... again, you were at one point, but not anymore. I feel like he just doesn't understand what age is, or like, it doesn't make any sense, the shit that he keeps saying. Like, I feel like he's trapped in his prime mentally, but he just doesn't... You're not the guy anymore. You're not that guy.
I think Chris Broussard said it best, but I won't say it on the pod. Y'all seen that clip, though?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, listeners and viewers. Yeah.
He said, my bad, Mike.
if you haven't seen it yet, look up Chris Broussard, James Harden on Twitter. It's probably on YouTube. You could probably Google it.
He said, my bad, my cousin's just like that. I'm like, oh, God.
He just made it
like,
worse.
That makes it okay.
Damn, that shit was so fucked up. I mean, it catches you off guard. You're like, oh,
I was just like, did he just say that on TV?
Right. And I hate Nick Wright, or what the fuck?
Right.
Yeah, but even he was like, oof, I don't know. I don't know if we could say that on it.
Yeah, Chris, man, if you want to talk like that, you can come to the Citywide Pod.
Oof, man.
We don't have media credentials. We don't have the FCC on us.
Nah, we're just drinking beer in a basement in South Philly, so it's definitely a safer space, but that was wild. But, yeah, anyway.
Yeah, not to get back on the Harden train, but I realized I meant to bring that up before.
Yeah.
Oh, that was too funny.
Guess we can move on to the birds.
Or do we want to talk about the Flowers and I guess the Union, we don't really have a whole lot to talk about.
Quick shout out for the Union. They had a big win.
They won the... series. They do series now.
Well, now they're
playoffs, which is different.
Yeah, I was wondering why they were still going on.
Yeah, it's a new format.
But now they're on to the semis, though.
Conference semis, against like the best team in the league. So they're like the underdogs here, but
we thrive in that
They got that dog mentality, dude.
Yeah, we'll see how it works.
We thrive in that slippery little snake mentality.
Yeah.
That they are. The Duke Nation.
The snakes.
Yeah.
They got the snake guy.
You see that video?
What's his name? Fang, right?
Fang, the snake.
Yeah, Fang's all right, man.
Yeah.
Yo, can we power rank the mascots in Philly?
Easy money.
Yeah.
You said easy money. Let's go. Let's hear what you got.
Obviously, it's Fanatic first.
Power ranking. You got it.
Oh, then second.
Fanatic,
and then I guess Gritty.
Okay.
Even though he's a little played out, but like
Gritty.
It's gotta be Gritty, and then I'll go Swoop.
Yeah.
3.
Okay.
Then Fang, then Franklin. Franklin sucks.
That's my exact
now,
ranking.
if we're doing
What
Philly,
do you got?
Franklin's no good.
Philly,
Bring back hip hop.
So,
Hell
that's
yeah.
what I was gonna say.
That's the only thing this team is missing.
I was
we
gonna
really
say,
want to bring the
hip-hop was
vibe back.
swaggy as hell,
Bring back
man.
hip hop.
I was gonna say
He was all ripped.
the Fanatic is still 1. We just said ranking the top Philly mascots. We didn't give it a parameter or whatever. I would say
but
hip hop.
isn't there also the one that's secret
That looks like Grimace.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the USFL team or what? Or
Stars?
Right? The Stars.
The Stars.
Yeah, he looks like Red Grimace.
Yeah, he just looks like a fucking McDonald's
He's the man,
guy.
dude.
I like that. The Eagles used to have like another
I don't know anything
swoop.
about him, but he looks cool. I like him.
Eagles used to have another
So
version of
I'll
the swoop
throw
that was
him
a
in
big,
there.
fluffy one. You remember that one? It
What?
was like a big, doofy looking swoop. He was like a blown up guy. Or
Was
like
this
a big
before Swoop?
No, it was like swoop and then like this other one
They
that was
coexisted.
there. At the same
Do you
time.
remember there was this was before our time, but there was a Flyers mascot. Slapshot.
Yeah.
He's like, if you look up, for listeners, go on Google and look up Flyers Slapshot mascot on like Google image search, and there's like, and they're all like black and white pictures too, which makes it even more creepy. But it looks like some real horror movie shit.
Oh, fuck that!
It's wearing like the long, like the Cooperall, like the long pants, and it just looks so fucked up. And I think it lasted like not even a season.
Damn.
It's just like, yeah, fuck this.
Yeah, that thing is ugly as hell, man. Yeah, the Sixers used to have Big Shot. He looked like the red and white basketball. I remember going to Sixers game at the Spectrum when I was a kid. He predated hip hop. I was all right with Big Shot, man.
See what they should do.
I like hip hop.
What they should do, because everyone's been begging to bring back the Iverson era black jerseys.
Fuck yeah.
I think next year they should do those as the city editions, and as a little like compliment to that, bring back hip hop like a little bit. Like doesn't have to come back as the full-time mascot, but bring them back for like some games here and there. Because like some teams have like multiple,
Well, you
have
like
your
the
mascot and you have your alternate.
Well, you got, like,
mascot.
also,
we have like the heel. That some teams have the San Francisco Giants have Crazy Crab. You know about Crazy Crab?
The fuck is a crazy crab?
Oh, you never seen Crazy Crab? Crazy Crab is kind of awesome. It's just like this really shitty. It's just like a crab, like I don't know. It's a crazy crab, but it's like, I know they used to have it a lot. I think they bring him out like once in a while, but he's like supposed to be like, he's supposed to suck, and people just like boo him and like throw shit at him and shit. Like
That's what that other swoop was.
Yeah.
The other swoop was like that.
Okay.
He would always fall over and shit, and like throw a kid to the ground and stuff like that.
It's good to have like I think it's good to have like a good like number 1 A mascot, and then like a shitty
1B.
a shitty mascot that you're just supposed to like not like.
Hip hop would be sick to bring back to unveil the jerseys like that.
Hip hop was a G, man. I remember going to games. He'd be doing backflips, like multiple backflips.
Yeah.
Just not even like off a mat or like off like a trampoline.
The trampoline.
He could just be doing backflips, dunking basketballs. Mm-hmm. He was gangster, dude.
I think that playoff game we went to, Franklin missed it twice on the trampoline.
Oh, he's ass.
They were booing him. I felt bad for the guy. That guy's
know.
got a family at home.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But damn, he's ass. The Fanatic reigns supreme. You can't beat
always
the
and
Fanatic.
forever, man.
Gritty also just
what I will
phenomenal entrance to the mascot nation.
Is that Gritty is somehow this leftist like Antifa icon?
Dude,
it's
so
the most
funny.
baffling thing
That's
to
the
me.
one thing that's kind of annoying about it is that all these like losers are just like really into it. It's just like, dude, can you just let him be like the Flyers mascot and stop doing this nonsense?
Yeah, I guarantee you most hockey fans are not down with the leftist politics.
Oh, no.
That is like the funniest part about it.
Parking lots when it's a Flyers game?
That is the funniest part about it.
When we would go to like military or police appreciation night, I'd be like, ugh.
Oh, that and like one of the Flyers' biggest claim to fame is that they beat the Soviet team in like the 70s or whatever.
Right,
like,
yeah.
They're like the most, like the Flyers are like the most like anti-communist like sports franchises in the world. Except for like some of the soccer teams in Europe that are just like openly fascist, like fucking Lazio in Italy and those kind of fucking shit. Like that's a whole different story. But
oh man.
But yeah, it is really funny. Like, you know, this is a mascot that's like the intellectual property of Comcast. Is is like the anarchist fucking whatever. It's very it's very silly. But I like him as just like, you know,
as just a straight up mascot. He's great, dude.
As a thing that get children into the team, which is literally the whole point. Because it's like, because the Flyers season ticket holders are dying.
Yeah,
like they're slowly dying out, and they're like, shit, we need to get kids into
figure
this
this out
team.
ASAP. Give them a purple belly button.
Gritty, yeah, that's like what it's pretty much for. Damn. So yeah,
I fought with Gritty.
Yeah, Gritty's cool, man. I remember we met him. You remember we met him?
He was coming up the escalator.
Yeah, he was so soft, man. The Fanatic too. I met the Fanatic.
Oh, that long green hair.
Man, he is so soft. Mm-hmm. But guess enough about mascots and whatnot. The mascots I've touched are very soft. But anyway, the Flyers, we can talk about them briefly, I suppose. They're back, baby.
They're back to being bad.
Yep. They're back. Here comes our 10-game losing streak.
We're back to getting that draft pick, baby. We were worried. We were a little concerned there for a second that maybe they're going to be too good. They might even sneak into the playoffs, get like a fucking
that ain't happening.
The 15th pick or some bullshit like that. Nah, we're back in it, baby. We're going for that top 5 pick again. Gonna get right back in there. Get another good prospect.
Yeah, did you watch any of that Sharks game?
No,
I had it on the radio as I was going to sleep.
I watched a movie earlier that night, and then like as I'm about to like go to bed, I get the notification on my phone that says like Flyers Sharks starting now. I was like, yeah, fuck that. I'm not staying up to watch this fucking shit.
Yeah, I put it on the radio while I was going to sleep, and at one point, like I could have sworn the Flyers were up 2-1. Like I was just in and out of just consciousness.
Yeah,
so like
there was a time where I was like kind of enjoyed the late night Flyers games.
Too old for that shit.
Yeah, now I'm like, nah. I mean, I was still like and I had to be going to the office the next day too, so I was like, yeah, definitely not.
It's exciting when you're staying up to watch a bad team pull it off, but when you're just now back on the mode of just watching them be ash, you're like, yeah, I'm not. It's not worth. I just can't get up for it.
Yeah, apparently they looked really bad. I mean, the night we all went out to dinner, they lost to the Kings, which the Kings are a good team, but they lost at home 5-0.
God.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
So they're back, baby. They're back to just being really bad, not fun to watch. Tortorella benched Morgan Frost for no reason. He'd been playing actually pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of times when players get benched for a game or two, I think a lot of the fan base like overreacts a lot, and it's just like, all right, calm down.
But,
like,
I mean, everyone's playing bad. He can't be worse than them.
Yeah, but like this has kind of gone on for long enough, and it's like, dude, like what the fuck's going on?
I
like,
just think Torts doesn't like him.
I know and I don't know what the deal is. I mean, I don't know. I'm skeptical that Morgan Frost is going to be like a piece of the next like good team. He's like, you know, one of these guys who has like a little bit of finesse, like good vision, but doesn't have like the physicality.
No,
just does, and so it's just like you can find a lot of those guys. So it's like I'm not losing my shit over
he
the
can't
idea
be any worse than some of the guys.
But it's like,
yeah,
like
now,
why are you but like, yeah, exactly. It's like it's not like you have a bunch of guys that are clearly better than him. So like, why are you benching him over and over again? It's a little weird.
Yeah, it's
But ultimately, who gives a shit?
It's the Flyers, man. They're like I said,
get that pick, baby.
They're back, dude.
Yeah,
all the way up. Put the word out. We're back.
I was gonna rant about the power play. Their power play is really bad. The one I'm not going to go on about the power play.
Yeah, well, before you got here, we were watching a little bit of the what was it, the
Dallas
and Blue
Columbus,
Jackets, and like I think it was like the
Dallas was on the
power play, and they were like, Dallas has really been struggling. The only two teams that have a lower percentage are like the Flyers and I forget what the other one was. St. Louis.
You want to know what St. Louis? I looked it up because I was curious. The Flyers power play is 8.9%. And it's the second worst. It's
grody.
You want to know how bad St. Louis's is?
What was it, like 6?
I cackled. 3.6%.
Oh my God.
I mean, early season, small sample size and whatnot. But 3.6%?
That's insane.
Yeah. Theirs was at least like 12 or 15 or
20, a solid power plays around
like
20%. The Devils, I think, are first. Small sample size again, but they're at 41%.
Jesus.
Wow. Yeah, they're like juggernauts.
Yeah, they're good.
Josh
Harris,
didn't Jack Hughes get injured though? I think.
Oh, did he?
I think he got fucked up. Yeah.
Oh,
damn, that stinks.
Whatever.
Yeah, Flyers, man.
Draft pick.
Keep losing, but please don't get blown out every game, and please don't lose.
I just want them to play hard
teams.
And be competitive and
right.
lose. That's what you want out of a rebuilding team.
And don't lose to the 0-10-1 San Jose Sharks. Like, I don't care how bad we want you to be. That's an excuse.
I think you mean the 1-10.
Well, now 1-10-1.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But all right, that's it for the Flyers, man. Had to touch on them in that historic loss.
Yeah, guess we can move on to the Birds. Big old win against Dallas. Real butthole clencher of an ending there.
Oh, man.
Man, they looked like they really wanted to give that game away.
Multiple times. But they have 4... They gave Dallas, 4 almost pretty much
They were like
drives.
Dallas, I think they had something like 4 drives like inside the 10 and came away with
quarter.
like 6 points total out of those or something.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It came down to like Dak Prescott helped us out by stepping out of bounds.
Yeah.
And that
the one play where the tight end got tackled as he was catching the ball and
right
like
in
the
our
1
end
inch.
zone.
Yeah. On 4th down.
Dude, it's hilarious seeing people bitch about that play, and it's like, dude, it's clearly not.
Right.
He's not in. And I know like some people were saying maybe that should have been pass interference, like maybe you got there early, which is like, okay, I guess, like maybe it's a little borderline, but it's like
it's too close to call.
It's way.
Also, watching it live,
it could go either way.
I feel like he tripped. It was more of a trip. Like, when you watch a still image of Reed Blankenship on the guy's back, his knees down, the ball's kind of falling out, whatever. Like, okay, fine, you could maybe say pass interference. However, it looked like live. It looked like he tripped over the guy's feet and fell over. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I think to try to lobby for that to be a PI, they're not going to call that in the guts of the game unless it's super blatant.
Especially when you got, pretty much next touchdown wins for Dallas.
Yeah.
And, maybe best they could have done. What was it at that point? No, we only won by. Touchdown would have won the game.
That could have been game.
So, and that was right in our front. I mean, it was. Whoa, the end of that game was so stressful. It was not even funny. That we did not need to be like that at all.
Well, no. What I'll bring up about that, man, is some of the offensive play calling towards the end of that game. When we had the ball and all we had to do was just hold possession was asinine, dude.
Yeah.
The play that most irked me was 3rd and 3.
Yep.
We throw a deep ball to A.J. Brown.
Yeah. It launched it.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Like, Sirianni justified it. I'm not going to read the whole quote, but he said the defense was lined up at the sticks. We thought that if we threw it over their heads, we'd get a first down and that could end the game. Yeah, instead you threw it incompletion, stops the clock.
Yep.
And you give them the ball back with plenty of time.
And our defense had been
our defense
sieve the whole game.
CeeDee Lamb tore us up.
He almost had 200 yards. And honestly, you can't even put all that shit going on Dak Prescott. Like, you can't even put that game on him at all because besides that
he shouldn't have stepped out of bounds. That was a bonehead play.
Besides the play where he stepped out of bounds, he was playing, 340 yards, 4 touchdowns. He can't do anything.
He did his part mostly.
Yeah, he torched us. He's been since he's
always torched us, but we still beat him sometimes anyway.
I feel like if we had lost that game, we'd be talking a lot about the CeeDee Lamb's 11 catches for almost 200 yards.
Yo, what the hell?
The secondary's
weird thing is, I don't even think he had a touchdown though.
No,
which was odd.
The touchdowns were the Ferguson, Tolbert,
Yeah,
I think Dak might have ran one in.
Nah, Dak tried to. Then he got flipped over.
He got that flip pancake. Yeah.
I forget who had their other touchdown. Maybe CD did. No, CD did have one.
Did he have one?
Yeah, CD's nuts, dude. He did have one.
Damn. But yeah, all around, I think another big thing was that the defense in the second half does play a lot. I don't know what it is, but like third, fourth quarter especially, they do come around. Brandon Graham coming out, get 1.5 sacks in the last 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
That pass rush always seems to it's like all game. It's like they're almost there, and then when it matters most in the fourth quarter, when the game's on the line, they bang.
Hassan Reddick shows up. Jalen Carter shows up. He's at 4 sacks right now.
Yeah,
like they're all. Well, Josh Sweat now leads the league in fourth quarter pressures. And in pressures I think he's got
I think he's tied overall.
53 or 56 like that all overall.
Damn.
He's nuts, But that's the thing. Like last year, where they were getting to the guy, they're missing it by fucking butthole hair. So close, but they're gonna click, and I think the bye week came at a perfect opportunity.
That's word is bond, dude.
I think they have a really good chance.
That's why it's so relieving that they pulled out that game. Because imagine if they lose that, and then we got 2 weeks to stew over it. Ugh.
Then you got Andy Reid coming out of the bye.
Darius Slayman said that was the most intense regular season game I think I've ever played in my life. It just felt like it, and the environment felt like a playoff game. We didn't sit down the whole game.
Yeah, that was nuts, yo.
That was a great game.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts said, selfishly, this bye couldn't have come at a better time. His exact quote. Yeah, when he fell down with that knee injury. Did you see it on TV?
It looked bad.
It looked like he could have torn an ACL or an MCL.
He looked upset too. Because he started walking off thank God it came right before halftime, because he was able to get off the field. I think the defense did help them get a 3 and out, and then we ended up going into halftime anyway. They killed the clock, so he got a 15-minute break. But man, when Micah Parsons hit him, he got up. I was like, well, he crawled for a minute.
He tried to get up, then he fell down, and he wasn't getting up. I was like, oh my God.
He keeps saying that everything's fine, but he's been getting worked out an hour after every game for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're saying it's a bone bruise, but the way that knee buckled, I wouldn't be surprised if he sprained something on that play, and he just
had to have. Which the hit itself didn't look necessarily like a super leg kind of hit.
But once you watch that replay, it's just ooh, that knee bent away. It shouldn't really bend.
But then he comes out. His second half numbers are ridiculous. He comes out in the second half every game.
He threw that touchdown to Devontae right in front of us.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
He just comes out second half and is super efficient. I think his numbers are 130 quarterback rating, no interceptions, 10 or 12 touchdowns, whatever it is. The guy, I don't know what it is. He gets all limpy and gimpy in the first half. Second half he comes out. I don't know.
We know who else is not doing too well after that game. It was some Cowboys fans. Someone played some hits here.
It's over. Told you. Close.
He tried. No cigar. He tried.
Game of inches. Congratulations, Eagles.
It could have gone our way. It could have gone with us that way.
Yeah, very true.
Very true. And there's this guy.
It's not going to happen. But for the Philadelphia Eagles, no respect. The league has to get rid of that tush push, because that is a vital piece of every one of their scoring drives.
That's right, baby.
They are not able to do anything on offense without the tush push. They are not able to function on offense without the tush push. One score they got without utilizing the tush push.
We'll see all of you in.
So I don't have no respect for you and the NFL. It's not going to happen.
Dude, I love that kid at the end. Just Daddy, I'm hungry. Please.
I love the video, too, though, of the tush push and Micah Parsons just on the pile.
Falls backwards 5 yards.
Yeah, he's just crowd surfing. That was really funny.
Again, to our point, top of the episode, it's good teams find a way to win. It's not, they haven't really had a super pretty win yet. They've had some decent wins, here and there where they've looked okay. They haven't really put it together.
Every win's been pretty gritty.
And Slay touched on it too. He's like, you know what? Yeah, the defense is really the biggest hiccup because every quarterback against us in the last 6 weeks has been averaging 300+ yards, 3 or 4 touchdowns. Like, you can't barely any turnovers. I mean, and only
except Tua, oddly enough.
Tua, which
defense showed up for that game.
Their record against good teams is
That's true, yeah.
So that doesn't surprise me too much. But like, the defense has really been the Achilles heel of this team, and we find a way to win, and I'm okay with that. But like, after the bye week, they got to figure out how to get sacks, not just pressures, and get that turnover ratio up a little bit more because you can't be giving up 300+ yards a game to Mahomes, to Brock Purdy, to Dallas again.
Allen.
I mean, you got Buffalo.
Allen will turn it over a couple of times. He's extremely
definitely,
turnover-prone.
but you got a really tough stretch. You got the teeth of your schedule coming up, and the defense has to get a grip in the secondary's perspective. Linebacker core is weak, but we're stopping the run, so they're good for that. But you're bringing Kevin Byard for some support. We need these guys to gel in this bye week and figure that shit out because I don't want to see another 350+ yard game, 4 touchdown, and sneak it out in the win.
Yeah.
That's just getting brutal.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably what's going to happen coming out of the bye. We can talk about that more next week. Andy Reid's also, the Chiefs are also coming off a bye. We know what Andy Reid's like out of a bye. It's like a Super Bowl game,
though. Last time we had a bye together, the
NFL planned that. They planned that well.
We should have fucking won that game. Pieces of shit.
Thanks, Jonathan Gannon. But, you talked about the linebackers. Nakobe Dean, man, he ain't it.
No, and I think that this injury is kind of irrelevant, to be honest. I mean,
it's not a big deal because
I hope it gets better.
Used to playing without him, but spent a 3rd-round pick on this guy and
not
can't stay on the field.
I hope he's okay, obviously, but it's not like it really. Honestly, what did we play? 5 games without him, and we went 4-1.
Yeah, we'll be fine without him.
So I don't really miss him that much. It does stink, and I don't think we threw around the word bust a little bit, but 3rd-round pick, it was more of like we hoped he would be something, like a steal, and he didn't. So it's like, okay, well.
Yeah. I mean, granted, he's still just a 2nd-year player. Could still be something there, but it's like not.
So far, the signs aren't encouraging.
Well, I will say Brandon Graham coming out didn't start really till his like 3rd or 4th year because he kept blowing out his Achilles and blowing out an ACL and didn't really get a chance to start. And Andy Reid kept him around, and now he's a beloved guy. But I think that the fact that he is a 3rd-round pick probably helps us if we do want to keep him for longer, for cheaper, because he doesn't have any trade value at all. You'd expect maybe the lineage from being at Georgia and all that shit, but other than that, he hasn't done a whole lot. He had some promise in preseason, which was good to see, but that's preseason.
Dude,
so
I think he might have to lose like 15 pounds to become a safety.
I don't know. His size is very.
He's listed at 5'11", 230. He looks shorter than 5'11".
He does look very tiny. I mean, our defense isn't that big, and I honestly don't know where you put him. I mean, he could be a smaller size linebacker if he wants to get stockier maybe in play, but that explosive side to side that he had in Georgia, I haven't seen.
I think
he can't really read a defense. I think
he needs to lose a little weight and become a safety. I think that's the only way he stays in the NFL. Like you see a lot of times safeties bulk up.
Yeah.
Become a linebacker. I think he's got to do the inverse.
Or he plays that weird nickel corner spot if he
he can play like a big nickel.
Like a real thick nickel.
But he's still going to have to lose. He's going to have to lose some weight to be able to keep up with tight ends, to keep up with slot receivers. And
speaking of tight ends, I think that's a bigger loss. I think losing Goddard for a while is very, especially coming up with this schedule. A lot of tight end susceptible teams.
What I'll say is that's a bigger loss in the run game.
Big time.
He's the best run blocking tight end in the league, dude.
Big time. And it's a shame that it happened against Dallas on that play like that, forearm.
Well, that's like last year when Washington.
Yeah.
That face mask where they almost ripped his head off, sprained his shoulder. He was out for 4 weeks.
Yeah. That's when you wish we would have brought back Ertz maybe for a little bit.
Yeah, you think Dick Rod's coming back? Richard Rodgers?
No, honestly, I think that I don't see why you can't put Julio Jones in that position.
I think so, too.
If you make Jack Stoll the primary tight end for blocking and you put Julio's built like a fucking brick shithouse. He's built for that.
He's 6'3", 225, 230.
He's
and basically a tight end.
And we don't really run. We like to run between the tackles anyway. So if he's just there for diversion or whatever little chip block.
We run some schemes where the tight end has to come in and block like a tackle or like a D end.
But most of the time, too, lately, it's been Stoll coming inside and running with Kelsey or running with Lane. Goddard does a chip block and bounces out. I feel like that's perfect for Julio, especially not knowing the whole offense that way. But great environment on Sunday, great atmosphere, great tailgate, great company. It was fun to be down there with everybody down there that day. And, like you said, Trevor, tight buttholes till the end, but we got it done.
Yo, what about the plane that was flying over the tailgate? Y'all remember this shit?
What did it say exactly?
It said...
Don't take away our...
where do I have this?
Don't take away our gas grills.
Oh, it was calling on Governor Murphy, dude.
There's some Jersey guys.
Mm-hmm.
What did they say? They said... Damn.
Yeah, that was right in the tailgate.
Yo, Governor Murphy, don't take away our gas stoves, gas cars, and gas heat. I gotta be honest, I'm with them, man.
Yeah, we support that flag.
Don't do that.
Like, I'm generally pretty environmentally friendly, other than my ass wiping. As y'all uncovered, I don't be reusing my shit like you. But
reuse is a I feel like that could be misconstrued. But I don't reuse my toilet paper. Yeah, it's just fold.
Fold.
Yeah.
I don't got time for that.
I'm just putting it out there for people so don't get confused. So I don't reuse my toilet paper.
I don't got time for folding and like using different sections. I gotta wipe. But I also don't have time to cook on an electric stove.
Yeah, nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
When you had the electric rental car, how long it took to charge?
I don't know. It was like maybe 25 minutes to charge it up, like 80% or something.
You know how long it takes to fill a gas tank? 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't got 20 minutes to sit.
To get 80%, it's not even full.
Same way I don't have 20 minutes to heat up an electric stove. You ever cooked on an electric stove?
I've never had.
Brutal.
Never had one.
You never had to cook on one?
Awful.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're waiting for those coils to heat up for 10 damn minutes, dude.
Then they're like too hot, and then you don't know how to it's not.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because if you can see the flame, how high it is or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's just red.
The electric, you don't really know.
And then when you turn it off and take the pan away, and you forget you cooked on it.
It's still hot.
Oh, it's cooking. It's hot.
That shit'll burn you.
Mm-hmm.
My mom had one of her old places. I had to cook on it for the first time. I was so frustrated. I almost moved into a house before I moved in the house I'm at now. It's a real nice place. Had electric heat and electric stove. Could not do it.
Mm-mm.
Yo, I ain't cooking on that shit. And those people flying the plane were right, dude.
Yeah.
And you're not taking away my gas stoves, ma'am.
Nah. Nope.
So it's also daylight savings time.
Oh, don't even get me started on that. We might have to push that rant back to next week. We've been talking for a minute.
Yeah.
I'll save that for next week. I'll be here all day.
Yeah. But some people might be upset about the lack of sunlight. You get out of work, it's already dark.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't want to have to worry about that, what you could do is go to the Bored Ape Yacht Club party and just get blinded by lasers, and then you can't see anything anymore, and it's not a problem.
Oh man.
Yeah, you got some quotes from that. I was reading that article. I read a couple quotes.
Yeah, I was trying to bring that one article up, and it was cut off.
Let me see if I can find it. But
yeah, apparently, so this was a NFT festival, which if you forget what that was, is a little ape pictures that are worth apparently worth like $1 bajillion, but they're actually not.
But now they're worth nothing.
I thought an NFT was like a clip of like a band playing a famous band playing a song, or like an athlete doing something cool. They're not even that
NFT
anymore.
is like a
non-fungible token.
Non-fungible,
right.
Yeah. There's like
whatever the hell that
could be anything now.
The Bored Ape pictures.
Yeah.
So they've boiled down to just these cartoon like pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's basically what they are. I don't know. It's basically just like cryptocurrency, but in like an image form, I think is the idea. Been a real rough couple weeks for the crypto guys, because you had Sam Bankman-Fried, Sam Bankman-Fraud
going to Congress.
Get like guilty on like 7 counts. He's pretty much in jail for like 1,000 years. And then
all those guys,
you're like, well, it sucks for that guy, but at least I'm gonna have a fun time at the Bored Ape Yacht Club Festival, and just get some drinks in and just jam out to some good EDM music.
While I stare at my NFTs.
And then they blow up your eyes like the Death Star, you know?
Yeah. These people got fucked up eyes now.
Yeah, a few of them were like, I remember reading some of the tweets.
I think some of them, like, I don't think anyone went completely blind, but they got,
like, they had to go to the ER.
They went to the ER, though.
Yeah, they had, like, some kind of temporary, I forget what the condition was.
It was some weird technical term. I don't remember.
But they had, like, blurry vision, foggy things, severe headaches. Someone I think was vomiting because they had headaches.
Yeah, they had sunburn. I'm reading here.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I saw on Sunday. I just got a glimpse of someone.
Like people are posting on Twitter about it, being like, "Did anyone else
I'm reading
eyes
some of the
hurt
tweets
really
now.
bad?"
Yeah. Anyone else's eyes burning from one last night? Asked one user. Woke up at 3 a.m. with extreme pain and ended up in the ER.
That's insane. I can't imagine how scary that must be to be like, I have to go out to the ER because of my eyes.
Dude, these
that's
couple,
terrifying.
I woke up at 4 a.m. and couldn't see anymore.
That's more frightening. You go to sleep. You go to sleep fine, but you wake up blind.
Like,
fucked.
This one had so much pain and my whole skin is burned. Needed to go to the hospital. In subsequent tweets, he said that the festival was quote unquote amazing and quote unquote remains a great experience.
He said shit was
that
sick,
reminds me. That reminds me of like those.
He said would come back. That shit was.
That reminds me of those like Woodstock '99 documentaries that came out. Like there was like a Netflix one, an HBO one, where it was like I remember there was one interview with some woman that was like talking about how it was like went to shit. There were all these like sexual assaults, and then people were trying to like burn the place down. It was a complete nightmare. And then at the very end, she was like, but, it was a great time, and I would do it again. Like, it was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But you can imagine, I was also thinking about how, because, like, this shit's, like, in the news a lot. People, like, write about it, all this, like, cryptocurrency, NFT shit. Could you imagine if you were just, like, a journalist working the NFT beat, and you had to, like, go down.
You're like
shitty, like, the Huffington Post sent you down to this fucking festival. And you end up getting, like, your eyes fucked up over this shit that you don't even really care about. It's just like, I gotta fucking do a story about this fucking thing.
They're like, Pat, you're like, I'm blind.
Dude,
I'm blind
being an
now.
NFT beat reporter is, like, that's sad. I feel bad for no disrespect to any of y'all out there.
I feel like there's a lot of people who write about this stuff who, like, their whole angle is, like, this is stupid, and I want to expose how, like, dumb and fraudulent this is.
So now you're anti-NFT, but you're also blind.
Yeah.
That's ass.
It's just like, I have two reasons to not like this now.
Yeah. And I can't even write the report because I'm blind.
It's a fucking, Ponzi scheme or whatever the fuck, and it fucks up your eyes.
Damn. That would be terrifying. I mean, I wake up every morning partially blind already, to put my glasses on, but if I woke up and just couldn't see anything, pitch black, that's terrifying. That's some
imagine if the last thing you ever saw was one of those like Bored Ape NFT things.
You might as well just end it.
One of those shit that like Tobias Harris used to be trying to hawk on.
Here's
Twitter
the thing, though. Time out. If you fall asleep, I mean, you can see, but then you wake up and you see not like total blackout. You can't see anything. When you wake up, do you feel like you're awake or do you feel like you're dreaming?
I mean, at first you probably feel like you're dreaming. But once, like, you realize it isn't a dream, like, if you start talking to Hannah in the morning and Hannah's like, no, like, this is real life, then what do?
Oh, man, my heart's already pounding right now. It gives me so much anxiety to not be able to see like that. After seeing, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have the strength. I'm not, like, I don't have the mental fortitude of, like a Helen Keller type person.
Yeah.
Shout out Helen Keller, man.
Yeah, I feel like if I just had one thing, I'd be like, yeah, that's this.
I mean,
just kill myself.
Sight, sound, or hearing. Wait, hearing.
Well, she didn't have sight or sound.
She was blind and deaf.
Yeah, and apparently wrote a bunch of books, which I never really understood how that's possible. But I mean, whatever. I don't want to get into Helen Keller.
Have you ever read the book though?
No, did it suck? That would be funny if it's people are like, yeah, I can't believe she wrote all these books or whatever.
I can't make that shit up.
No one's actually read them all, and they like turn it open. And it's like, this is a bunch of gibberish.
You're like, I can't make this shit out.
This isn't English.
It's definitely not eye-opening.
Yeah, she didn't have AI or like autocorrect. Ooh, those books could be pretty bad.
There's probably a bunch of typos in them.
Dude, we got to start the citywide special book club.
Oh.
First book we read is Helen Keller's bestseller.
What? We don't know the name of it?
Yeah,
I have no idea. I never read it.
Fucking.
What would be
Helen Keller.
My Life Through My Eyes?
What's one of them books?
What's like the...
There's the Story of My Life by Helen Keller.
What a generic title. That's boring. I don't want that. I want like... $4.29. Hell yeah.
It's only $4.29?
Yeah.
Yo,
all right.
I think we have to buy it and read it.
The mass market paperback.
How many pages, though? I'm not trying to commit to like a full...
If it's maybe
a real question.
It probably comes in audiobook these days, yo.
How many... Yeah.
That says 256. How you feeling about that, bud?
That's doable. Doable.
Yo, citywide special book club coming to a bar near you.
It's 256 pages, but it's like 72 font.
Dude, it's in Braille, yo.
Yeah, 72-point Braille.
Massive pages.
You could just...
They're like those knobs.
You gotta do your whole like forearm across it to...
We could do the audio book, but the three of us could just read
your
it.
light and my darkness.
That one sounds like I would read that one.
I guess she must have written a lot of books, because like what the fuck else she's gonna do?
I see a bunch in here. Well, she's not gonna be a gardener.
I mean, you can't cook if you can't blind. You can't. You can't.
Yeah, you could probably burn
hear.
yourself pretty easy if you try to.
And well, that also stinks being deaf. You can't sing. You got no.
Yeah, you can't
People
do
say
music.
this book's a masterpiece. Person of the century. Which opens your mind. I'm just reading some of these.
Which
this
book
is the one that we're about
to. This is Story of My Life. I'm on. What is this? What's website I'm on?
Thriftbooks.com.
Thrift Books.
Oh, I know about thrift books.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, $4.29. That's I think doable in our budget for the podcast.
Yeah, I say we do it.
How big is the book though? What's the dimensions here?
Probably 6x9.
It says 4.1 inches by 6.7.
Oh, it's a pocket book.
Little pocket
That's
book.
That's a little one.
Dude,
I might go blind trying to read that.
Yeah, well, that maybe makes the grade.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Helen Keller for writing all these books.
Grade 7 to 12. I feel like we could handle that.
We good, yo.
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
Damn, we're going to hell for making fun of Helen Keller, man.
Well, dude, we're talking about how she was.
We're about to buy her book. Whoever owns her royalties about to get $4.30 off us.
They ain't getting all that.
They're about to
you want to know how that works?
They're about to get $1 off this.
Yeah, they're gonna get like 70 cents off that sale, dude.
Well, anyway, it's the point that it's 2023 and we're still talking about how Keller buying her book.
Yeah, and get a good condition for $4.29.
We got all our listeners
new for $5.09.
All our listeners and all our viewers are going to be like, "Oh,
wow,
they're reading Helen Keller. These guys are such admirable gentlemen."
Look at these intellectuals over here.
Yeah, what other sports podcasts you listen to where you're going to get some classic book recommendations?
Oh, Helen Keller, baby. What's that movie? There's a good movie too, black and white, about her life.
Well, we got to watch that too.
That's a good one. At least it's a movie.
Yo, okay.
I feel like I've seen that. I feel like my mom's a big Helen Keller fan.
She is?
Yeah.
All right, we got to get your mom. Well, after we read the book, we got to get Mom Maslook on the podcast.
She'll be fired up about it. I think she really does mess with the old Helen Keller here. But anyway,
well,
there she is. Damn, take that picture off, though. She's kind of freaking me out. Look over there.
Yeah, I'll scroll down a little bit.
We're still, but for the record, the citywide special is pro Helen Keller.
Hell yeah. We are pro.
We love blind, deaf.
Well, if you're deaf, that kind of is tough for us. We don't really have an yeah. Oh.
We'll just have to learn to sign, yo. It's not that
hard. You can watch the YouTube, and I think they have the automatic captions, which probably aren't always totally accurate, but you get the gist.
Yeah.
What are people with no legs? Those are fine in our book. Any
we're down with autism. We've been said that.
Yeah, we've been.
Well, we love the gas stoves.
Autism.
That's a given.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we don't discriminate here, man.
Yeah, we're a pod for all. And I think that will just about do it.
I think so. Before we get canceled here,
I think we should probably not go any further down this road.
Before we cover too
We've
many bases here.
been going pretty long here as it is. That'll just about do it for us here tonight. Everybody, please give us a 5-star review. 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcast. Give us a subscribe on YouTube.
Give us a thumbs up.
Yeah, give us those likes, those thumbs up. Give us a follow on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Send us an email at citywidepod@gmail.com. And from all of us here at the Citywide, good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Peace.
See ya.